Hello, my name is David Gutierrez. I'm an immigration attorney with Shumway Van. Today we'd like to talk about the topic of anchor babies since it's grown in the last few weeks. And it's a big part of the news with the presidential election. For those of you who don't know, there is a term that's in the lexicon right now called anchor babies. These are babies that are born from undocumented immigrants in the United States. And as the law states, anybody that is born in the United States is by right a U.S. citizen. So the myth of anchor babies is that these undocumented parents that have illegally entered the United States and had their baby here are getting citizenship granted to them from the birth of the baby. Now this myth is simply overblown. It's just not true, really. There is a form where a undocumented worker, or an undocumented parent, I should say, can come into the United States, have their baby, and eventually get citizenship. The issue with this parent is that they would have to wait 21 years before that baby could petition for their citizenship. Now, an undocumented worker who is able to stay in the United States, although illegally, but never get in trouble with the law, never run into the immigration or customs enforcement or border patrol or any sort of policing agency whereby they would get put into removal proceedings or have an order of deportation brought against them, is a person that I don't believe is dangerous or criminal or not meant to be in this country. For the most part, somebody who for 21 years is undocumented in the United States and is able to stay out of the policing agency's radar, just for lack of a better word, is a person that tends to be a hard worker, that tends to follow the law, that tends to educate their children, because there are laws in the United States that make you educate your children, make sure your children are going to school. This person tends to be like I said, law-abiding citizen and somebody that is welcome in the United States. Now, they did break one law in not following immigration procedure, but these laws are broken out of desperation, and most people do not have a choice. I mean, they live in countries that have a broken economy or violence is rampant, and they want better for their children just like any other parent would. Now, some presidential candidates, which will go unnamed, have said that the law isn't important, that we should do what they believe is right. And I think that is wrong. This is a country of laws, and we have no king but the law. This is the rule of law, is what rules in the United States. And this person is not breaking the law per se. The law indicates that a person who was born in the United States and is over the age of 21 can petition for their parents' residency, and eventually that person could become a citizen, whether or not that parent is in the United States legally or illegally. There are waivers available which are a part of the law. So essentially, if a waiver is signed by a policing agency of the United States, they are forgiving that law, which that breach of the immigration policy, which means that that person has become a resident legally through a legal process and has not broken any laws to become a resident. Now, the current political atmosphere talks about this being an illegal thing, right? An illegal act. And it's not. It is an act that any human would do. It is a humanitarian act, and we should treat it as such. We should treat it not as a person coming into the United States undocumented or illegally, but as a parent trying to have a better life for their child. And if that person is able to stay under the radar, then they are a good person, and the law gives them a route to citizenship, or at the very least a route to become a resident so that they can legally work, pay taxes, which is a big deal, and not have the shadow of deportation always above them.